Okay, hello, welcome to my second ever knitting podcast. I'm Sejal. I am a very new knitter. I started knitting in October of 2024, and yeah, I just started this knitting podcast trying to kind of make new knitting friends and just generally share my knitting. I really like watching these videos, so I thought, why not make my own? It doesn't seem too intense, so here I am. And yeah, happy new year. I think my last video was technically posted in 2024, or maybe I actually literally don't remember when I posted my last video. It was like maybe 2 weeks ago. So yeah, so I have some updates since then. I'm gonna follow the regular kind of format that most of these videos follow, so starting with finished objects and then moving on to whips and plans and acquisitions. So yeah, I only have one finished object this week, or this podcast, which is what I am wearing right now. Let me try to, I can't really show the whole thing, but this is my cardigan number 7 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And I just finished this like exactly a week ago, and I just finished blocking it like yesterday, so this is my first time like wearing it after it's been blocked and everything, and I really like this cardigan. It's my first ever cardigan that I've ever knit. I made it out of Plymouth Yarns Aeredo in the color white, and Aeredo is a blown bulky weight yarn. I think it's bulky weight. It might be worsted, but I knit it on a bulky gauge, and it is an alpaca. Let me pull it up. It is 70% alpaca, 70% alpaca, 23% nylon, and 7% merino wool, and it is so soft. To me, this is not itchy at all. I think I just really like this fiber. The one thing I will say about it, it is not froggable, at least not like after it's kind of had some time to settle into the shape that like it's in. It is not froggable. So the first time that I knitted, I think it was this sleeve, the first time I knit the sleeve, the bind off and just the decreases for the ribbing were just way too tight. So in the pattern, it has you right before you start the ribbing, it has you do K2 tog like every single stitch, so then you end up with like half the amount of stitches for the ribbing, and which like leads to like a really nice like balloon sleeve. But because of that, and combined with the fact that my bind off was just way too tight, the sleeve ended up being so tight that I couldn't even fit it, like could barely fit it over my hand. And then once I did fit it over my hand, it just looked like not good. So I decided to undo the bind off and the ribbing on this sleeve, and that was a struggle. Like frogging this yarn, none of the yarn that I frogged from this like this much of this sleeve was usable at all, because it just broke apart. It like got stuck so much. It took me like an hour to frog this much. So yeah, this yarn is not froggable. But other than that, it's really nice. It knits up pretty quick. And yeah, I think it's super soft, super nice. It is a little bit expensive. I paid $20 for 283 yards, and I used about almost 3 skeins, so I still have 1 skein left. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that, but yeah, I knit this on a 6.5 millimeter needle for everything except for the ribbing, and then for ribbing and like button band, collar, I did 5 millimeters. So yes, that's that. And oh, one other thing, these buttons, I'm pretty sure okay, I don't really remember, like when I was doing this, I couldn't remember which side button band the buttons go on, and it said it in the pattern, but then like I think I got confused with like left and right when I'm wearing it versus like when I'm looking at it. If is that different? I don't know. Something happened. I think my buttons are on the wrong side for like a women's garment, but I also like don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. So whatever. These buttons are like, I don't know if you can see, they're kind of pearlescent, and they have a little like flower kind of thing, texture thing, and they're super nice. I got them from Joann's, and I also think I was supposed to use 6 buttons, and I somehow ended up using 7. I think I wasn't supposed to do this button right here, but I prefer it this way because I did the bind off on the bottom of this way too tight. So if I button this up all the way, the bottom just looks so wonky because it is not big enough. Like I can barely button the bottom, like the very bottom button, and it just looks wrong. Like it like goes like this, the 2 sides, like they don't stick together like this, they go like that. It just looks bad. So I prefer to wear this way, and I think this looks much better with having the 2 buttons here on top. So yes, this was my first time ever doing like a picked up button band, and I did struggle with that a little bit, but I got it in the end. I think, I don't know if you can see it as much here now. I don't actually know, it's fine. I don't know if you can see it as much right here now, but sorry, let me turn off my notifications on my laptop. It's on my laptop. I'm looking at my laptop right here, and whatever. What was I saying? Yeah, so it was a little wonky here at the top of the button band where I picked up stitches for the collar because I think I didn't pick up close enough to the edge of the button band, so it went kind of like this. But I kind of blocked it out, and I think it looks better now. And you also can't see it when it's buttoned at the top here, so it's fine. And yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say about this. I started this project November 28th and I finished it January 4th, 2025. So it took me a good like month and a week. I don't think that's too bad. One thing that I think I won't do again if I knit a cardigan is the raglan. I just don't think that the raglan style cardigan, like, it wasn't really what I was envisioning for a cardigan, but I picked the pattern because it was a bulky weight cardigan. And I think the raglan looks fine, especially if I wear it like this, but I think if I wanted to, like, not that I can button it all the way, but if that issue didn't exist and I did want to button it all the way, I think it would look a little bit like almost matronly because of the raglan. I don't know, it's just a feeling I have, but yeah. I also do kind of regret knitting this in white because it's white and I am a very messy person, and I have cats and they are black, and well, they're tuxedo cats, they're black and white. So their fur is all up in this cardigan. Like, when I was blocking this, I just kept seeing fur and just picking it up, and hair, my hair too. It's all knitted in here. It's disgusting. But I think I got a lot of it out. No, when I was blocking. I don't know. But yes, that is finally all that I have to say about this. Okay, moving on to my whips. I have three? Yes, 3 current whips. So my first one is this. So this is a kind of start, okay, it's like hard to hold it properly, but this is the start of a vanilla sock. The pattern is by Crazy Sock Lady, vanilla sock on magic loop. This is the first sock that I've ever gotten this far on. I've started knitting 2 other socks before, and neither of them I got this far on before frogging because I wasn't enjoying the colors that I chose. But this one I've gotten this far. So I'm on the foot now, and yeah, I'm really enjoying knitting this up. I really like, so the yarn I'm using is Patton's Croy Socks in the color Midnight Orchid, I think. Yes. And it is like self-striping, so I really like this yarn. I really like the color combo. I think it's a little bit rustic, but it will be good to wear with like my Birkenstocks, my Boston clogs, because I wear those a lot when I'm just like going out running errands, and I think this will be nice. It's like a kind of pretty short length. I only did 20 rows for the leg, so it's kind of short, but I think it will be the perfect kind of sock to wear with those. And I've heard that Patton's Core is a very like hard wearing sock yarn, so that's good. So yeah, I'm just knitting on the foot of this. I'm using magic loop, which I thought I would hate doing magic loop for socks, but I actually don't mind it that much, surprisingly. I do have a little bit of weird, so actually they kind of settled down. It doesn't look as bad anymore. I was gonna say I have a little bit of laddering, but not really. Maybe a little bit. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm knitting these on magic loop on US 2.75 millimeters. Because I think the sock yarn is a little bit thicker. Like it's like on the heavy side of fingering weight, which I like because it knits up faster and it's thicker and warmer. So yeah, I think I will use this yarn again, and I really enjoy knitting these socks. So I'm probably gonna be knitting a lot more socks in the future. And doing the heel flap and the heel turn was so crazy to me. I was like, wow, I had no idea that this was like a thing that could be done. Like obviously I know that to make a sock you have to do a heel turn or like something of that nature, but I just had no idea that that was the way that you do it, and I was shocked. I also really like that my heel turn, like basically the heel of my sock, all turned out to be one color because of the self-striping yarn. But then the color, the green color, there was like just a tiny bit more left of it, and it ended up being just like this one, I don't know where even is it, this one single stripe of green that like doesn't even go all the way across, and it's just like one row, and it looks kind of weird in that sense, which I don't really love, but I think it looks fine overall. And again, they're just socks, it's not that big of a deal. So yes, that's my first whip. All right, my next whip is the this is the All Season Vest by Noriko Ichikawa. Clearly I have not done very much on this. I just started it, well, I just restarted it like 2 days ago. So yeah, this yarn has a little bit of a funny story. So, or this project, I'm making this for my boyfriend for our 3rd anniversary, which is on February 8th, and he lives across the country in California. So I'm going to be visiting him for our like anniversary in the week leading up to like Valentine's Day, since our anniversary is February 8th and then Valentine's Day. So yeah, I'm gonna be there for the whole week. So I'm knitting this vest for him because he asked for it. Or I was like, do you want me to knit you something? And he said, oh, like I'd like a vest would be cool. So we picked out the pattern together, and then we originally picked out a yarn together, which was this Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in the color Midnight, but we picked the pattern before we picked the yarn before we picked the pattern, and I miscalculated the amount of yarn that I would need, like in general, but then also specifically for this pattern as well. And also I think I didn't account for like him like wanting a longer body than I would want. So I bought 5 balls of the heavy merino, and then I was looking at the yarn requirements for this pattern and I realized I do not have enough yarn. And also, once the heavy merino midnight came in, he was like, oh, this color is kind of like darker than I thought it would be and like more blue than I thought it would be. So I didn't have enough yarn and he didn't love the color, so I was gonna cast it on Sunday, last Sunday, which is when I realized that I didn't have enough yarn. And then I was like, oh shit, I don't have enough yarn. I need to finish this in like a month, and it's about to snow the next day. Like, it was about to snow like 6 inches, and I knew I wasn't gonna want to go anywhere this entire week. And if I had ordered more like heavy merino from Knitting for Olive, it would have taken like 2 weeks to come in, which would not leave me with enough time to knit this. So I ran out to my local yarn shop and I picked out this. This is Plymouth Yarns Galway Worsted in the color midnight, no, not midnight, medium heather gray, I think. Yeah, medium heather gray. This is a really nice 100% wool yarn, worsted weight, kind of rustic-ish. I don't really know. You know, I just say rustic whenever something feels woolly and not like super soft merino. And I don't actually know if that qualifies as rustic. Like, maybe rustic is like really, really woolly yarn, and I just call anything that's like woolly rustic. I don't know, whatever, weird tangent. Either way, this yarn, I bought 400-gram balls of this from my local yarn shop, which is Clover Hill Yarn Shop in Catonsville, Maryland. They're great. And that was exactly how much they had in the store. So they had just enough for this project in the store, and I think 4 balls equates to 4 balls equates to 840 yards, which should be enough for this vest. I'm knitting the size 3, and I'm using 4mm needles, and I have just finished the kind of back, shoulder, neck shaping, and then I'm working on just the back kind of panel. It's my first time doing something that I guess like starts out flat and then eventually you join it under the arms, because I've been knitting raglan, well, I mean obviously the cardigan, but I've been like, the only other sweater that I've knit is raglan, and obviously in a raglan sweater top down you just kind of knit round the whole time, which is great in my opinion, although don't really love raglan. Whatever, tangent, whatever, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is the first time I've done this kind of construction, and it's fine, it's going well. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I think I like working with this yarn. I would definitely probably use it again, especially if it blocks out nicely. I'll definitely use this yarn again for like a sweater for myself. I think that would be really nice. And for the midnight, I'm gonna eventually make a vest for myself as well out of this, since 5 balls of this should be enough to make myself a vest, which is what my stupid little pea brain was thinking about when I bought this yarn. So yeah, hopefully I can finish this in time. If not, it's okay. I can work on it while I'm there and finish it up, or I can just mail it to him after, which will be sad, but it's okay, he'll understand. Okay, and then my third and final whip, which I also showed in my last podcast, but at that time it was kind of a hibernating whip that I just kind of wanted to show. But this is my Frost Mitten by Inger Berg. It's like a Norwegian style colorwork mitten, and I have just split the thumb off, and now I'm working on the rest of the hand. So I think you can, I'm just kidding, I thought you would be able to see, oh wait, I guess on the side here you can see a full snowflake motif, like kind of cut off. But yeah, I really like working on this. I'm using 9-inch circular, I think 3 point, oh, does it not say? 3.25 millimeter 9-inch circulars. And I'm using Queensland Collection Walkabout in the colors Glacier and Ecru. These are woolly wool. These are like DK weight, 100% organic Shetland wool. These feel even more rustic than this, which I think for mittens, that's good. When I bought this at the yarn store, the lady said it was a good choice for mittens, so that made me feel good about myself. So yeah, I'm just kind of like slowly working away at these. I would really like to finish them this winter, but with how slow I am with these, I don't know, it would be great to finish them this winter though. I feel like they'd be really nice for going on walks. Not that I go on walks that often, but like in a dream world. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that was my last whip. Now onto some acquisitions and some plans that kind of go along with that. My first acquisition is, my first acquisition is my Chiagus. I got the Chiagu 4-inch interchangeable set, and these are amazing. Like, I love these so much. I have not touched my Clover Takumi bamboo needles since I got this. I got this as a Christmas present for myself because I didn't really like working with the thinner bamboo needles, and I knew that I would want metal ones, and then I also figured I might as well have it in the bigger sizes as well and just spend the money all at once instead of kind of accumulating them, because that's just the way I am. I just want things, whatever. But I love these. I've already used at least 4 or 5 of the sizes in here, so I'd say this was a good investment. My only complaint is I wish it came with even longer cables and more cables. Like, it comes with 2 16-inch for each of the sizes, which I appreciate, but I wish it came with more cables, and I wish the cables were compatible with all of the needle sizes. So like for this, they have small needle sizes and large needle sizes, and there's different cables for each size, but I kind of wish they were all compatible, because right now I really want to cast on a penny glove, but the cable size for Magic Loop that I would need are all in use. Like the small cable size for Magic Loop, they're all in use. I don't have a long enough cable available. That's okay. I don't need to cast on something new right now. I need to focus on my all-season vest. Yeah. Okay, my next acquisitions also have a kind of funny story. Wait, I'm missing something. Okay. My next acquisitions kind of have a funny story. Well, it's funny now. It wasn't so funny then. I'll start with where I got them. So I went to college in Baltimore, and I live close to Baltimore now. And so I heard about this craft thrift store in Baltimore, and my boyfriend was visiting me last week. And I knew that this thrift store was like maybe okay, I think once I got there I realized that it's not that bad, but when I was looking at it on Google Maps, I thought that it was in a slightly sketchier area, so I wanted to go with someone else and not just go there by myself, which was a good thing. It was a good thing that I did that. So I dragged my boyfriend to this craft thrift store, and I picked up this one little ball of Filatura di Crossa Golden Line Superior This is a 70% cashmere, 30% silk yarn in the color 16. It's just black. Super soft, really nice cashmere. I think this line is actually discontinued, and their new line, or this like their replacement of this, has a little bit of merino in it along with the cashmere and silk. This is the old one. Made in Italy, 25 grams, which is, how many yards is this? 328 yards. I only have one ball. I got this for $1.25. Amazing. Amazing. I was so happy, but I also don't know what to do with it because it's just like lace weight cashmere. I only have one ball. So if anyone has suggestions of like things that I can hold it double with and like make something, or if it's possible to make something with just one skein of lace weight cashmere, let me know. But yeah, I got this $1.25, and then I got these vintage buttons. They're like, I think they're all stuck together, so they're like that, kind of like interesting. They almost remind me of like cat's eye nails. I don't know what that's like called. I only know of it in the nail format. They're just dark brown. I really like them. They're a nice size as well. I got these because I wanted to see how they would look as buttons on this cardigan. But I got home and tried it out and I wasn't a fan, so haven't used these. But I got them for $1 and they're great. I have 6 of them, I think. So that was very nice. They had so many vintage buttons. Like, I could have spent so long sorting through all of them. But yeah. And then last but not least, I got some DPNs. I got 5 of these 3.25 millimeter DPNs and 5 of these 3 millimeter DPNs, just in case I ever, like, for some reason want to use DPNs. And I think these were like 50 or 75 cents each, so that was great. But then I exit the craft thrift store and my car is nowhere to be seen. I'm freaking out because I think my car got stolen, because one of my friend's cars, my friend that lives in Baltimore, his car, he only has one car, his car got broken into recently. So I thought my car got stolen and I was freaking out. But then this very nice lady saw me freaking out and looking around for my car, and she ran over and she was like, hey, they just towed your car. Like, if your car was at whatever, describe my car, they just towed it. And I was like, what the fuck? So we see the sign that's like, if you park here you'll be towed, which it was like small and like on the side of a random building, and like it all felt very predatory. So we call the towing company. We go to a place in West Baltimore that is extremely sketchy in my opinion. They only took cash. What tow place only takes cash? Like, is that normal? I don't think that's normal. And made me pay like almost $400 in cash that I had to get at their ATM outside their sketchy impound. And I got my car back. But yeah, so this $1.25 and like this total less than $5 of stuff actually cost me almost $400. So that was a fun life experience. Yeah. My parents, I called my parents. I was like, my car just got towed. I told them everything as I was on the way to the impound to get my car back. And they were like, this sounds like a scam, this sounds like a scam. And then I got my car back and they were like, you need to call the city of Baltimore and make sure this is like legit and not a scam. And we called them and they were like, yeah, we contract that company, it's not a scam. And we were like, oh, well, that's good, thank God. But like, it's sus that it's cash only, if you ask me. I kind of understand why they would do it cash only, but I also kind of don't, because just don't accept checks or something. Like, if you're scared that people are going to default, don't accept checks and don't accept like credit cards, so no chargebacks, whatever. weird tangent, whatever. Well, let's get back to the knitting. Okay, what is my next acquisition? Oh, my next acquisition is a stupid one. Well, it's not stupid, it's actually beautiful, but it's the thought process behind it is quite stupid. So I really wanted to cast on socks, and I didn't have any sock yarn. This was before I cast these on. This was before I cast these on. I didn't have any sock yarn that was exciting me. I had some DK weight sock yarn, but it's like creamy beige, and I was not in the mood for that. So I went to the yarn store. I was looking for sock yarn. All of the sock yarn there, like all of the really nice sock yarn that I was attracted to, was like insanely expensive, like $30+. And I was like, fuck. Then I see this beautiful skein of Malabrigo baby lace, I think it's called, or maybe just Malabrigo lace. Malabrigo lace yarn. My brain didn't comprehend that lace is not the same as fingering, and so I got this and I was like, yeah, I can totally knit socks out of this, even though this is 100% merino wool. And I know, my brain knows that you want to have nylon or polyamide content in your socks. And I was just so mesmerized by this color that I was like, no. It's fine. They'll just be inside socks. This is lace. I don't even have enough to like hold it double. This is 50 grams of Malabrigo lace, 470 yards. And I just have the one skein. And it's already caked up. Please tell me what I can do with this. I don't even know what kind of yarn I would hold it double with, because the colorway is so gorgeous that like any solid color I feel would look kind of weird next to this, unless maybe I could hold it with like this color, which is like the kind of blood red, almost maroon ish color, which I think maybe, but like this is not even enough for a Sophie scarf. I think the Sophie scarf is a DK pattern anyway, but like I can't even hold this double for the Sophie scarf because there's not enough of it. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what to do with this. It's beautiful. I kind of wish I hadn't caked it up, because apparently caking up yarn like too far ahead of when you use it is bad for some reason that I'm not really sure of, but I believe it. I don't know. I astound myself at times. It's fine. It's fine. It's beautiful though. This I paid $13 for at So Original in Columbia, Maryland. And it's beautiful. I freaking love this colorway. I would love some socks with this, but I can't. I just can't. I can't do it. This is just way too thin and I would die. Okay, next up, this yarn I've already showed before on here on my last podcast, but my plans for it have changed. This is Elaine Stunard Dolly 125 in the shade 208. I was going to use this to make an Oslo hat for my grandfather, but I ran out of time / motivation and I never started it, and he did not receive one, obviously. And I don't really think he wants one, to be honest. Like, I think he's fine. So now, what do I do with this yarn? I think what I'm going to do, now that I put them together, I'm not so sure. I was thinking about holding this with this Drops Kid Silk mohair and making some kind of mittens. Either maybe the penny gloves or the Chantal mittens by Marika Knit. I don't know which ones yet, or maybe just a random free pattern. I don't know. but I was thinking of making some mittens because I made this one penny glove and I've decided that I hate it and I'm probably gonna frog it. I just don't like it. I just don't like the color. I don't like the length. I think the thumb looks weird. I think it hasn't been blocked, but it looks weird pre-blocking. I just don't like this penny glove and I don't want to knit another one of the same one. So I want to knit different mittens holding this together. And the reason I have this Drops Kid Silk mohair is because this is another example of stupidity. So I hadn't even finished my first sweater. I was in the middle of knitting my first sweater, my step-by-step sweater, and I thought, wow, I see everyone using mohair and I really like the look of it. So maybe next I should knit something with mohair. So, and I also wanted to knit a cardigan. So I go onto Ravelry and I find the Novice Cardigan Mohair Edition by Petite Knit. And I think this is perfect. This is going to be my next project. So I think I got 9 balls of Drops Kid Silk mohair in the color Petrol. Comes in, I try to cast on, I mess up after like 2 or 3 rows. I'm trying to frog. I can't do it, right? I can barely see my stitches because of it. I can barely see my stitches. My eyesight is horrible, by the way. Barely see my stitches. I can't frog it. My cats are like really, really obsessed with it, and they've already ruined a skein of this from like playing with it while I was asleep. So yeah, the mohair cardigan is never gonna happen, at least not anytime soon. So I have all this Drops Kid Silk in this color, so I thought might as well start using it up. Eventually I'll probably end up donating whatever I have left of it, which might be all of it, but might as well start using it up. These 2 colors may or may not go well together, haven't swatched yet, but my plan is to use them together for some sort of mitten. Maybe if it goes well, I'll make a hat as well. Not that I have enough of this yarn to make a hat, but I can get more of a forest green yarn, right? So yeah, that's the story of that. Clearly, I shouldn't be allowed to buy yarn unless I know exactly what I'm getting myself into. Clearly. So yes. Alright, and then my last plan, which I actually previously talked about, but it has changed a tiny bit. I was planning to knit the Norma sweater with these 3 colors in the Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino, the Norma sweater by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I was planning to knit that in these 3 colors after I finish my all-season vest. However, she just released a different version of the Norma sweater, which is a drop shoulder version instead of the original raglan. And I actually posted on my TikTok a while ago about how I wanted to knit the Norma sweater, but I had realized that it was a raglan and I had already bought the yarn and I didn't really want to knit another raglan sweater. So then I was feeling kind of stuck, and ultimately I had just decided it's fine, I'll just knit the Norma sweater because I really like it. It's okay that it's a raglan. I will learn another technique when I pick up another sweater project. It's fine. But then she came out with the drop shoulder version and it looks so nice, and so we're going ahead with the new Norma drop shoulder version and it will hopefully look great. I don't have any mohair to go with this because now I'm scared of mohair, and also this is already a worsted weight, and also I didn't want to spend the money, and I think it will look fine. Even though I do really like the fluff on like the samples, it's fine. I think it will still look great, and it will be much easier to knit to only have like 2 balls instead of 4 balls during the color work part. So yeah, that's that. Oh, these colors are undyed, dove blue, dark moose, New normal. More water. Sorry, that was disgusting. So yes, I think that is all that I have to talk about today. I will update in a few weeks. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any suggestions on what to do with this and this, please, 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 please let me know, because I cannot just have this beautiful cashmere, one ball of beautiful cashmere just sitting in my stash, and this beautiful merino lace just sitting in my stash. I have to do something with it. I have no idea what. I don't think I can hold that together, unfortunately. I just don't think that would work. But let me know. Let me know. Please let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed that.